there moments in your life when sometimes you feel like, oh my God, what was I thinking? This is one of those moments in my life when I decided to climb Adam's Peak in Sri Lanka, and about on the way there came a point when I just sat down and tried to catch my breath and couldn't catch my breath. I was feeling like hyperventilating and sweating from head to toe. And it was the moment I was thinking, I have definitely bitten more than I can chew. And problem was, I could not even go back because going back was also a long way down along those steps. But let's start from the beginning. Sri Lanka has something for everybody. Whether you are a nature lover, whether you are a foodie, whether you are a trekker or a hiker or a biker or a driver, or pretty much anything. You can be a beach bum there. If you like mountains, there are mountains there. So there's something for everybody in Sri Lanka. And one thing that it has in spades, in like truckloads, is beautiful views. And some of those views are pretty nice, that you can just go to the beach and see the view, see the sunset and things like that. But there are some views for which you have to do some hard work in the shape of climbing. And I was in Ella this time, and Ella has this very famous rock called Ella Rock. And it's about a couple of hours, 2-3 hours hike up to that peak to see the view. And I knew I was not fit enough for that, so I don't even try that. They have another mountain which is slightly less high. I think it's about an hour's hike up to the top, and that's called Adam's Peak. I did not even try that, because even that I was thinking 1 hour to go up, 1 hour to come down. No, thank you, not me. I don't do that much exercise that I can handle that. So still, like I said, Sri Lanka has something for everybody. There is another peak which is called Little Adam's Peak. Okay, and that one is much easier to climb. Advertised as a 20-minute climb. It's not a 20-minute climb, not 20-minute hike, but still not that bad. It's generally, for a normal person, it would be about half an hour's climb. And the beauty of that is that it is 3 peaks. Each one is about half an hour, and you go to the first one, then you can go to the next one, then you go to the third one if you want. If you don't want, you can come back from the first or the second as you feel like. Okay, so I decided I can try the first one. If I feel okay that I've climbed it, I've conquered it very well, easily, then I can go to the next one. So my hotel owner, he took me into town in his car. People in Sri Lanka are very nice. They're always willing to help you. Even hotel owners, they're like, yeah, you want to come with me to the town? Yeah, I'll drive you to the post office. I'll drive you to the bank, whatever you need. And after I finished my business with the bank and the post office, he dropped me at the foot of Little Adam's Peak. Little Adam's Peak is so easy that halfway up you can go by tuk-tuk. Okay, but he told me don't go by tuk-tuk because otherwise you miss all the views on the way, and he was right. That's one of the biggest problems on this hike, is that views are absolutely gorgeous. It's the same view from every corner, but it looks slightly different because you move up a little bit more, and you kind of end up stopping a lot to take pictures. You can see Ella Rock from there. It's a very distinctive kind of mountain, so you can see it with a slash down the side, and you just keep stopping. There are some shops on the bottom part of it. There are some shops as well in the beginning of the hike, and you meet a lot of people coming down, going up. After a little bit of the road, when the road finishes, it doesn't go halfway, by the way. It goes maybe like 25% of the way by tuk-tuk. Okay, so I did not waste anything. I did not do the wrong thing by not taking tuk-tuk. It was the right thing to do. And after that road finishes, the tuk-tuks park there, and then there are steps. So there are these stone steps, very even, and most of them are in a good condition as well, but some of them are completely broken, and then some of them just feel like there's a little stone sticking out of the ground. That's all the step there is. But it's, to be very honest, it's not that hard a climb. For a normal person who is like reasonably fit, it's not a bad climb. So I did start on that and I took it step by step and I kept talking to my camera and I just like taking the view, take some pictures. And then came the point where I stopped on the side for a minute just to catch my breath because you do get out of breath. It was a nice bright day as well, so it's getting very warm and I was getting very sweaty. So I thought, okay, I'll just take a quick breather. Oh, rookie mistake. If you keep moving, you can keep moving simply because you are moving. If you stop, you change gears, your engine cools down, then it's much harder. So once I stopped, then I felt like I was more out of breath. So I sat down on the side, tried to catch my breath, and I felt like hyperventilating. Believe me, I'm not that good of an actor. Whatever you see on the camera is actual. I was panicking, as in, I obviously can't go up anymore. I'm completely out of breath. I can't even catch my breath. So I did not have a, when you hyperventilate, you're supposed to breathe into a bag, like a paper bag. I didn't have any paper bags with me. I tried to breathe into my hand to kind of contain the not too much oxygen. But uh, I would not say it didn't work. It kind of worked because after about maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I sat there. But ultimately, I felt like, no, I have to carry on because otherwise, if I go back also about another 20 minutes, 25 minutes that I already climbed. So I'll have to go down those steps. That's not easy either. But thought, no, I want to do at least the first peak. So I carried on. And the funny thing and the weirdest thing was that I had to climb maybe 3 minutes and then I was at the peak. That's it. Not even about 5 minutes. It was just about 3 minutes and I was there. So like, oh my God, I did not know I was so close. That was a big lesson for me, not just for the physical things, but I cannot help connecting everything to life lessons. And this was a life lesson for me that it can be very close. If you give up, you don't know how close you came to success. So even if it takes a lot of willpower, just keep going a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. This was a lesson that I learned in my Himalayan adventure as well when I went on a biking trip. But this was a second time I learned that in a different way. And I was very happy to be there. It was very warm, so it was good to see some trees on the top, and that was like a flat land, slightly flat, and on the left there was a little peak, and on the right also there was a little peak. So I climbed both of them to take pictures from the highest point, and the view is absolutely gorgeous. I would not lie, the view is really good. After having come back from that, I would say the view is definitely worth it. You should do that. And I asked somebody, okay, where's the second peak and the third peak? So he said, oh, this is the final peak. This is Little Adams Peak. This is it. Like, what? This is it? Yeah. So he pointed to the left and right ones, like, okay, that's the first, that's the second, and this is the third, something like that. There was a way, there was a little point on the way which felt like it could have been one of the stopping points, but I did not think that was a peak. Later, I learned from my hotel owner that you have to find the path to go to the next peak. It is on the left one. You keep going and you find a path that goes down and then up to the next peak. I did not know that. I did not see that. And if I'm very honest, I don't know, even if I had seen it, I would have attempted it. That was the end of my tether. But it was nice to be there, to have done something, to have accomplished something. Okay, that feeling was there. And the view, because the view was really great, so I took a lot of pictures, I took a lot of selfies, I took some videos. And the one big problem was it was extremely hot. It was scorching hot. because it was like March, okay, and it was very, very hot. It was sweating all over. So it was a struggle to stay up there, even though I had climbed, I had done all this hard work to get there. But it was a little bit hard to stay there. Still, I took as many pictures as I could. I stayed there, talked to a couple of people who were also taking pictures, and then finally decided to come down. Coming down, surprisingly, was not as hard as it was going up. It was the same distance, but it didn't feel like that. I think, and I've seen this every time, that the distance going, especially when it's an unknown road, unknown destination, unknown type of route, it's much harder to go there, like outward, whether it's a flat journey or a mountain climb. It is harder to go up and then coming down. Coming down, you know what to expect and you know how far you have to go. So even when you are sweating the same way, you are completely out of breath the same way, it is much easier mentally to keep going. Okay, so I kept coming down, and then on the way there was this little shop. There was a Tamil lady. She ran the shop. She told me she was Tamil. So I talked to her a little bit. She had some postcards which I had not seen many in Sri Lanka. So I bought some postcards from her, and then I chatted with her for quite a while. Surprisingly, she was the only person to give me this insight into myself, as in to have this insight into me. Every time somebody asks me in Sri Lanka where you're from, people ask you when you travel, I had started saying that I am from India, because otherwise it's too much of a story to tell. I am from India, but I live in UK, and this time I'm traveling to India, and I've come here from India just now, then I'll go back to India. This is too much of a story. So I just like took the shortcut and said like, I'm from India. But this was the lady. She said, "Oh, but you don't live there anymore, sir, are you?" I said, "No, how did you know that?" She said, "No, I just said something about you." It's like, okay, nobody before or after that has guessed this about me, that I don't live in India. Anyway, so I was talking to her, and then she was telling me about her hardships, about her business, that she started this and somebody else copied it. She has her Instagram as well. So I took a picture with her as well, and I bought a few things from her. One of two of them, I bought two tapestries. One was a gift for my niece, and one was for my own home where in UK. Even though I did not have a home anymore, I had left my rented apartment, and I did not have a new one. But I knew I will take something somewhere, and then that tapestry, little tapestry, wall hanging, could go on the wall. It is now on my wall in UK. So that was quite a nice experience. And I would say, more than the physical climb, the way that I learned that I should do more things like this, and I should have the patience with myself. I should have the faith in myself that I can do this, and just take small steps, but keep stepping. That was a lesson that I learned from there. And anybody who's going to Sri Lanka, even if you are unfit like me, I doubt that anybody is unfit as me, but even if you're afraid of hikes and climbs, I think you should still try the Little Adams, because it's not that bad. Because I was taking so many pictures, it took me 45 minutes to go up there. But if you just keep going slowly, slow and steady, just keep stepping, don't stop anywhere for more than a few seconds, take the pictures, and then just keep going. I would recommend this climb to anybody who's going to Sri Lanka. Little Adams Peak in Ella for the Westerners. Okay. Thank you for listening, and make sure you like this video if you enjoyed this, and please consider subscribing to my channel, Sunny Escapades. Thank you. Bye bye.